And that Shaun O'Hara's on the golf course. I mean, granted, for a good cause. The Shaun O'Hara Foundation at Trump National with the wind whipping through his hair. Good morning, good afternoon.
That is dramatic. Oh, look at the guns.
It's a gun show.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Are you okay? Or is this heavy labor for you, bud?
Yeah, hey, but you know what? Somebody's got to do it, Andrew. It might as well be me.
Yeah, I guess so. You voted yourself to do it. Congratulations. Again, all for a good cause. We'll get to that in a second. I don't think we've spoke since the four-game suspension came down. Your thoughts?
Wow. Pretty harsh. I was shocked at how harsh it was. I really feel like this is just awful timing for this to come down on Tom Brady. I think had this come out 2 years ago, completely different circumstance and a completely different outcome. So I was shocked to see Tom Brady suspended 4 games. Here's why. The fine for tampering with a football is $25,000, according to the CBA. So if indeed they found that there was some tampering of the footballs, I expected there to be a heavy fine. But a suspension, to me, this is the NFL really trying to make up for the lack of the suspensions that I think that they fumbled earlier on.
Shaun, as a center, you handle the ball every single snap. Have you ever seen or heard of tampering with the football after the fact, after they had been checked?
No, I've never heard of that. To be honest with you, Andrew, as a player, I never even knew what the pregame policy was for the footballs. Here's what I did know. I know that during the week, the footballs that we play with on Sunday, they are broken in, they're buffed, they're scrubbed, they're massaged. I mean, they're like a thoroughbred getting ready for the Kentucky Derby. They're babied, and they take such great care of these footballs. They're trying to get them ready for game-like conditions, and it's really all about preference. What do the quarterbacks like? How does it feel? Does it feel hard? Does it feel firm? Is it slippery? How's the grip? So that's going on during the week. But then on game day, as players, we have no clue what those footballs are doing, what they're going through. The first time that I touch one is maybe if I go out and we're throwing the football around pregame, or maybe it's even the first time I touch a football is the very first snap as we're warming up as a team. But the other factor in that, Andrew, is there are so many footballs that are circulating throughout a game. So you get a different football. You may have 3 or 4 different footballs in one drive. So, I never really paid attention to, the PSI of a football. Those 3 letters never came out of my mouth or any quarterback's mouth in my entire career. Not until now, this whole issue, has that word even been used.
See, Shaun, I'm sure you were too busy worrying about the copper tone you were spraying on your jersey just to kind of making sure that those defensive linemen couldn't get a grip.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We'll get to that later. But here's something I've been kind of curious about, and as a former player, someone still very involved. A lot of people are saying, good, Tom Brady is getting his just due for trying to skirt the rules or allegedly skirting the rules. However, we've seen the league now with Tom Brady suspended. We've seen them sit down Adrian Peterson for a year, albeit different circumstances. But now we're seeing some of the elite players in this game having to sit down and be disciplined or not be on the field. Do you think as players and fans that the league is really caught in a fine line saying, yes, we need to discipline players regardless of whom they are? However, we are really potentially kicking into teeth some of the star power of some of the great players that we have in the NFL.
Well, I think it's a great point, and I think it's great debate. And to me, I think the NFL, they are so worried and concerned about the backlash from the public. Listen, the NFL has been taking black eyes for the last couple of years, and I think they look at these situations and they say, you know what, we have to be harsh. If you're going to accuse us of anything right now, when it comes to doling out punishment, they're okay with now saying we are too harsh. They are not going to allow themselves to fall victim to, you didn't punish these players enough. And I think it's the classic overreaction. I think that's what we're seeing. And, I think Tom Brady has become a victim of it. I think Adrian Peterson as well. The issue that I have with this suspension on Tom Brady is that, you're taking 4 games away from a guy for something that there is still some gray area. So there is no absolutely 100% without a doubt this happened. You know, the Adrian Peterson thing, I mean, look, there was actual proof. That's, to me, a totally different conversation. But the Tom Brady aspect, there still is some doubt as to what actually transpired, what actually happened. And I think that they're setting a bad precedent for doling out this type of punishment given those circumstances.
Hey, Shaun, you said before during the week the balls are buffed, scrubbed, broken in, whatever. In your opinion, as a guy who played the game for a long time, can a single game be won or lost based on PSI?
No, absolutely not. And players, the interesting thing is when I talk to players, and listen, everybody is saying, hey, man, can you believe this stuff? Because that little amount of PSI, just that little bit, it's a feel. It's more about a mindset. Hey, when you go out and you play golf, you have a particular glove, or you like the way that feels. You like the way your golf club feels in your hand. That's all preference. It's not really, oh, this is really making a significant effect on the game. So I don't believe that even if they did let a little air out of the football, I don't think it had any impact whatsoever on a single game. It certainly didn't have an impact on the Super Bowl because Tom Brady, with the last 2 drives of that game, diced up and carved up the NFL's best defense with a completely legitimate football, and you couldn't tell a difference between Tom Brady's performance with those footballs and any other football previously.
Shaun, I promised we'd give you the plug. Tell me about the Shaun O'Hara Foundation. The fact is you're not just playing golf today just for the sake of playing golf because, well, I mean, that would be an average Wednesday for you, but this one's different.
Yeah, today's hump day for another reason, Andrew. It's Wednesday, but the hump day here is to raise money for cystic fibrosis, and I'm so glad you asked about the event today. This is our 7th annual Shaun O'Hara Foundation Golf Classic. We are at Trump National in Bedminster. It's an unbelievable track. It's an unbelievable course. We've got almost 200 golfers here to support the cause. For those that don't know about cystic fibrosis, it's a lung and genetic disease that affects less than 200,000 kids in our country, but yet it's the #1 genetic killer in children in our country. And the reason why I wanted to get behind cystic fibrosis is they receive 0 federal funding from the government. So it was an opportunity for me to help out. There's some great kids. We have 11 kids here on the course with cystic fibrosis. They're going to get a chance to ride around in a golf cart with a current or former NFL player. It's a great day for the kids. It's a great day for the cause. I'm sorry you guys can't be here. Maybe next year.